Wonder of the Wasteland by Zane Grey, Chapter 18, Part 2. Veery let out a strangling, spitting yell, then closed his teeth as a vice. Adam smeared what was left of the crushed tarantula all over Veery's face. "Now get up," he ordered, and rising himself, he kicked Veery. Adam, in the liberation of his emotions by action, was now safe from himself. He would not kill Veery. He could even hold in his enormous strength. He could even think of the joy of violence that was riding inside him, of the ruthless fierceness with which he could have rent this man limb from limb. Veery, hissing and panting in a frenzy, scrambled to his feet. Fight was in him now. He leaped at Adam only to meet a blow that laid him on the sand. It had not stunned him. Up he sprang, bloody, livid, and was at Adam again. His frenzy lent him strength, and in that moment he had no fear of man or devil. The desert rage was on him. He swung his fists, beat wildly at Adam, tore and clawed. Adam slapped him with great broad hands that clapped like boards, and then, when Veery lunged close, he closed his fist and smashed it into Veery's face. The man of the cities went plowing in the sand. Then on his hands and knees he crawled like a dog, and finding a stone he jumped up to fling it. Adam dodged the missile. Wildly Veery clutched for more, throwing one after another. Adam caught one and threw it back to crack hard on his opponent's shin. Veery yelled no more. His rage took complete possession of him. Grasping up a large rock, he held it as a mace and rushed upon Adam to brain him. That action and intent to kill was the only big response he had made to this wild environment. He beat at Adam. He lunged up to meet his foe's lofty head. He had no fear, but he was mad. No dawning came to him that he was being toyed with. Strong and furious at the moment, he might have succeeded in killing a lesser man. But before Adam, he was powerless to do murder. Then the time came when Adam knocked the rock out of his hand and began to beat him, blow on blow to face and body, with violence but with checked strength, so that Veery staggered here and there, upheld by fists. At last, whipped out of rage and power to retaliate, Veery fell to the sands. Adam dragged him into the shack and left him prostrate and moaning, an abject, beaten wretch who realized his condition. Most difficult of all for Adam then was to face Mrs. Veery. Yet the instant he did, he realized that his ignorance of women was infinite. "Did the bullet, when he fired, did it hit you?" she queried, her large eyes intense and glowing, wonderfully dark with emotion flashing over him. "No, it missed me," panted Adam, as with heavy breath he sank upon the stone bench. "I picked up the gun. I was afraid he'd find it. You'd better keep it now," she said, and slipped it into his pocket. "What a disgusting sight for you to have to watch," exclaimed Adam, trying to speak and breathe at once. "It was frightful, terrible at first," she returned. "But after the gun went flying and you had stopped trying to make him eat the spider, ugh, how sickening. After that it got to be, well, Wansfeld, it was the first time in years I've known my husband that I respected him. He meant to kill you. It amazed me. I admired him, and as for you, to see you tower over him and parry his blows and hit him when you liked and knock him and drag him, oh, that roused a terrible something in me. I never felt so before in my whole life. I was some other woman. I watched the blood flow. I heard the thuds and the heavy breaths. I actually smelled the heat of you. I was so close, and it all inflamed me, made me strung with savage excitement. I had almost said, joy. God knows, Wansfeld, we have hidden natures within our breasts." "If only it's a lesson to him," sighed Adam. "Then it were well done," she replied. But I doubt. Fear is hopeless. Let us forget. And now will you please help me search in the sand here for something I dropped? It fell from my lap when I fainted, I suppose. It's a small ivory case with a miniature I think all the world of, last and best of my treasures. Adam raked in the sand along the base of the bench and presently found the lost treasure. How passionately, with what eloquent cry of rapture did she clutch it. Look, she exclaimed with wonderful thrill in her voice and held the little case open before Adam's eyes. He saw a miniature painting of a girl's face, oval, pure as a flower, with beautiful curls of dark bronze and magnificent eyes. In these last, Adam recognized the mother of this girl. The look of them, the pride and fire, if not the color, were the same as Magdalene Veery's. A sweet and lovely face, said Adam. Ruth, she whispered, my daughter, my only child, my baby that I abandoned to save her happiness. Oh, mockery of life, that I was given such a heart to love, that I was given such a perfect child. End of chapter 18, part 2.